Okay, it says I'm live. Oh, I forgot my intro. Squatch, if you're watching already, I'm sorry. Gonna make sure I'm actually live. There we go. Good. All right. Apparently, the delay was I forgot to bring up the intro today. Sorry, guys. It is what it is. Bernie, Vil, and Ozzy are, or at least were, out there somewhere. Um. Okay, so we're cut up there. Also, Squatch, if you're watching, check your email because I know what kind of a mood I'm in today, and I should probably be on somebody else's channel so they can mute me. Does that tell you where I am right now? I'm going to start with the not good, but not as bad news. So, first of all, nobody calls me friend to my face. Y'all know better than to use F words, except a word you can't use on YouTube when you know that your handlers are watching. Some bitch I wish I knew. First of all, for those of you that are not aware, which would be like 90% of you, I know because I was not aware until about a month and a half ago, I think it was. Some bitch I know is the lady back in 2016, as the 2016 election is coming but not here yet. Some leftist of all fucking things on earth announced that she discovered a way to register to vote multiple times, right? I don't think I'm allowed to use that word on YouTube when I know my handlers are watching, so they're going to be watching all day today. They're going to be watching to see if I restart the live or the stream later. But anyway, but it involves your mother's maiden name. Okay, yeah, it's that lady. Because she talked about that a little too loudly and a little too often, they nuked her. Twatter nuked her. Not only did they nuke her once, but when they figured out that she had a new username, they nuked her again. And again. And again. And I think now she's up to 9 bans. Wow, that's impressive. As she puts it, she overcorrected after this. I see the chats moving. Sorry, guys. It's not that I'm not paying attention. Hey, Luke. And Joshua, you can call me Daetslov all you want because I can't pronounce your name either. I'm not even going to lie. Where was I? Let me cut to the chase. She overcorrected. She became a right-winger, and now this is the important part because it'll tie into what I'm going to say in a minute. She was on Twitch, and they banned her. Quote, harmful medical advice. I think that's it. She's never given medical advice. But worse, it was something off platform. They even said it in the email. Okay. Dear Twitch, I want you to remember the exact rules you used when somebody impersonates you on, let's say, YouTube or Facebook. That would be a good one because that would actually amuse me no end. And start putting out, I don't know, harmful election information or some shit like that. I want you to remember your own rules. The whole point of it was to... Oh, I know what this is. Give me a second, Squatch. There you are. Did you
All right. Give me a minute. I'm not quite ready yet.
Okay.
Get coffee and stuff.
Minute?
Yeah.
Okay. Remove. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Literally, Squatch is here to stop me from saying something that I might regret later. Well, let me rephrase that. I might pay for later, but I'm not going to regret it. I'm fighting the F-bombs so hard today, guys. You have not even a clue. Oops. Let's try that. Okay. Caught up on that. And Squatch, when you're ready, just drop it in a private chat. Okay. So, Twitch banned her, and that was like 50% of her income. Oh. The whole point of the exercise has nothing to do with what she did or didn't say. All right. They would make something up. All right. Hell, remember what I said a moment ago about somebody impersonating you? I would not be surprised to discover that it was a Twitch employee spoofing her that put out something absolutely egregiously insane. Apple, I'm saying this as an example because I know it's not true. All right? I know it's not true. So don't fucking spurt out on me here. Something as crazy as that coronavirus is nothing more than 5G. I would not be the least bit surprised to discover that it was a Twitch employee who did it. All right. Let me make sure what I think I know. Oh. Okay. Well, hold on to that thought, Bernie. Where was I? All right, so I'm going to ask everybody. Now, let me clarify. I'm kind of begging everybody. I don't care if you do it through Subscribestar, which is how I do it, or Give, Send, Go, or you fucking drop a $5 bill in an envelope and send it to her post office box that I don't know exists, but I'm using it as an example. I'm asking everybody to send her $5. There's magic to that number, right? Every month for a year. She's given out the numbers that she needs to work from it, $2,500 a month. I have a specific goal in mind. I want to get her every month enough money that she could operate for 1 year. I know how much that is. I'm well aware. I'm not asking anybody to do more than $5 because that's kind of ridiculous. This is not about what she actually did. Hold on to that thought for a second because we're going to talk about Mar-A-Lago now. All right. The idea that a president not having a warrant ever before in the history of the United States is well, kind of ridiculous, but it's never been like this. Okay. Squatch, you got to unmute yourself. There you go.
Yeah, I know. How you doing, brother?
Oh, it's a good thing I had a very good night's sleep last night. Because if you'd seen me last night, the F-bombs are not the end of what I'm capable of doing.
I'm sure you have
you know
certain
my
linguistic skills.
You know my permanent solution comments?
Mm.
Yeah. I actually said that in a video last night that I recorded. I realized how far I went. I deleted it. It's gone. But anyway. All right. So where was I?
Mar-A-Lago.
I was getting
Angry.
Angry. Oh, very, very angry. You don't even know. You've never seen me actually angry.
Small
You've seen me
miracles, brother.
take my glasses off. Oh, okay. Let's talk about what happened. First of all, this was a warrant for apparently classified material. The classified material has supposedly been at his house since he left office. That was, 2.5 years ago, Squatch? Check my math.
Something like that. 2 years, not quite 2 years. We're coming up on our we're coming up on our midterms.
Okay, you're right. So just short of 2 years, ladies and gentlemen.
Right at, maybe a little over, I don't know.
All right. You know what? Fuck it. Close enough. Let's just round it off to 2 years because I can't math and Squatch is still half asleep. I can tell from his voice. They've been sitting there for 2 years, and yet mysteriously they found one of these pieces of paper in a toilet. Hey, Squatch.
Yes, sir.
Have you heard my story about getting into the military?
I was really hammered one night when you did one of your weird late night streams, and I think you went over it, but I only had vague memories of it.
Okay, do you remember me talking about some papers
in
the course of that?
Yeah. Well, some weirdness, some paper weirdness.
You know what? This is going to be good for me. Squatch, you tell the audience.
I can't remember any of that. No, I didn't know. I was drunk, dude. I was so drunk. That was during a particularly nefarious part of my history. I vaguely remember that whole week.
All right. You know what? I'm going to tell my version of events.
Please do.
So I tried to get in the first time, and I checked a box that was an automatic 4F. For those of you that are old enough to remember, medically incapable of serving. Oops. Okay. I waited 6 months. I went to a different branch of service and tried to get in again. That information had not been put into the computer, so it didn't exist there, but the hard copy was still at MEPS. And then they found the hard copy. This was National Guard, by the way. The sergeant comes to me and says, we got a problem. This piece of paper says you're 4F. He hands me the paper and tells me to go to the head, go to the bathrooms. He handed me the entire folder, excuse me. Go to the bathrooms. I did. That piece of paper disappeared. I was about to flush it down the toilet when I realized that all I was going to do was clog up the toilets. I wasn't going to make it go away, so I stuck it in my underwear. Handed the file back. I left. I waited another 6 months. I drove like 3 or 4 hours from Sacramento to Chino. Yeah, Chino. And I tried there where there was no hard copy on me, no computer file on me, and I got in. Okay.
Oh, hold on. Hey, Swiss Miss, it is very good to see you. Very good to see you. I was going to email you in a little bit and let you know what happened with my route and everything, but we came out pretty good on the other end, I think. So we're good. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Nope, I was about to say hi, Swiss. Actually, I did, but moving right along. What kind of fucking morons do you take us for that we're going to believe this story that he's flushing papers down a fucking toilet? Do we all have fucking retard tattooed to our foreheads? Is that what you think? Please illuminate us. How stupid do you really think we are? I'm sure there's a few. Hey, Bill. I'm sure there's a few people.
Wait a second. There are whole cliques of communities in this country who still believe the earth is flat and that there is a firmament of glass above us. So when you ask that question, consider the breadth of people that you're actually with.
See, folks, that's why Squatch needed to be here today. All right. See, the list of people I will let hold my leash when I know I'm out of control is very, very short. Squatch, Papa Carey, Ghost. I wouldn't even let Fix hold my leash because I know she'll just throw it down in front of me and tell me bite somebody. But moving right along. Where was I? He's right. There's some people that will believe anything, right? And these are the people that are so retarded that they would actually believe that you can crumple up an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, throw it in the toilet, and have it disappear. They're called retards for a reason. The way you make documents like that disappear is you run them through a fucking shredder, and then you dump them into a trash can, a metal trash can, and burn them. That's how you make documents like that disappear. You don't flush them down a fucking toilet. Here's something else. And this is the part I don't think anybody else has noticed. Nobody I've heard has said this. This document was found in the toilet, but it was found in such a state that they were able to reopen it and photograph it. How long has it been in that toilet? 2 seconds? Yeah, shred and burn always. You can't have a piece of paper like that in a toilet for more than, long enough to literally put it in there and then pull it back out.
Well, that brings up a question, though, don't it?
Which
how much exactly? How well can we trust these particular FBI or the agents?
Oh, I'll come to that.
To be unbiased and enforce the law.
I will definitely come to that. But if I miss it, please remind me.
Oh, we'll be coming back to that one. I have my opinions on the Federal Islands.
Yeah, I think I'm ahead of you here. A year and a half ago, I've been like, yeah, maybe, I don't know. I'm not so sure. Now, I think I'm ahead of you. But moving right along. Everybody drink. Where was I? Okay.
Yes, stay hydrated.
Dear FBI. Not that kind of drink, but moving right along. Dear FBI, this idea that you found this document in a toilet is fucking bullshit. And we're getting tired of you fucking gaslighting us every time we fucking turn around because you think you can get away with telling us anything. And of course, we have to believe you because what? Because you're the FBI? What? Explain it to me. Oh. Okay. I actually do have to catch up on the chat because I have missed quite a bit. Okay, Ozzy says the unfunded liability. I should do something about that, but not today. Ozzy, send me an email to remind me. And Ozzy wants me to bring up the subject of IRS agents.
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. I swear to God, I'm not letting you out of here without talking about that one.
Okay, good, because I was about to say, don't let me out of that one. I'm gonna say the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And some people are gonna not like it. Actually, I don't think anybody's going to like it at the end of the day. I don't give a fuck. Excuse me, I don't. I'm moving right along. Okay. I got the feeling that Swiss needs to take care of something. No, Bernie, the Earth is not. It is not flat. It is not hollow. It might be
Obviously,
in a bubble universe.
And birds aren't real.
And birds aren't real. And we are the Borg. I
am the world. I am the children. No,
you are the world. You are the children. Are you kidding me? Okay, Swiss Miss is pointing out that it's almost $1 million per new hired agent. So just don't let me out of that one either, Squatch, okay? That's actually an important detail.
Oh, yeah, I'd like to chew into that one immediately, but go ahead.
We got to get through this raid.
Go ahead. Do your thing.
First.
Do your thing. I'll even mute. Do your thing.
No, don't mute. For God's sakes, don't mute. I need you to shout me down when I'm about to do something I fucking shouldn't have done.
I got my finger on the button, baby. I'm good.
Okay. All right. We can go with that. All right. No, it's not unprecedented for a warrant against a president, and it's even a sitting president, right? Nixon, Clinton. It happened. Accept it. It is unprecedented that, first of all, it's out of there after they left office, and second, about something that was not, it was not illegal for him to read these documents. He was legally required to read these documents. Let's just assume, for the sake of argument alone, that he actually had classified government documents. Just for that alone, all right? Okay, what about it? Seriously, what about it? You think he actually destroyed these documents? They're on a fucking hard drive somewhere in Washington, D.C., the bunker under the White House. They have a bunkerette, basically, a secondary space that's hardened independently of the rest of the bunker for those servers. Trust me, he didn't destroy any documents. Oh, but he took them with him. Well, okay. All right. So he was working at home. I have still not heard anybody say anything about the, I believe it was ATF agents who took, oh, no, excuse me. It was NEST. That's the federal agency's nuclear weapons hunter agent, or nuclear regulation, something like that, agency, who took a hard drive home one day. It disappeared from the safe where it was supposed to be. Everybody's tearing this place apart, and it mysteriously appeared behind a copier in an office after that entire office had already been torn apart once. Don't fucking lie to me, guys. Somebody took the hard drive home. That part happened. He knows he's in trouble. Okay. He puts it behind the copier, and he's probably the guy that found it. Whoever said, "Hey, it's over here. I found it. It was behind the copier the whole time." Ha ha. That's probably the guy who put it there. I can't prove that. Nobody will ever be able to prove that. I accept that fact. When has this been brought up since then? I'll give you all a big fat fucking hint. That was before Barack was in office. That's how long ago it was. I want to say, and I could be mistaken, but I think
actually, hold on, Ozzy. The issue seems to largely be that most anything a president writes down, regardless of how innocuous, is documented by the Congressional Archives. I don't care if it's Marilyn Monroe's phone number on her own brassiere, it's documented in the archive.
He's right
so
about that.
When he leaves and takes a bunch of desk notes that belong to him, he's not wrong. They do belong to him, but they are supposed by historical, freaking edict of previous congressional hearings and stuff, to have documented every piece of ink that touched paper from Trump's hand,
or
anything else for that matter.
Actually,
if he signed a rock, they would take a picture of it and archive it.
Hold on to that thought for a minute.
But go ahead.
Squatch. Because actually, that's going to tie into something else. Well, fuck it. I'm just going to do it now. A lot of what of the conspiracy theories out there that have proven out true about presidents, like how Roosevelt, there's the absolute proof that Roosevelt did connive us into World War II with the Pacific operations. There's no paperwork. There's no evidence. There's only the very, very suspicious circumstances. Well, that's because he never put ink to paper. If he had put ink to paper, we would be able to prove it now. We can prove, however, because of the exact same law that Squatch was just referring to, that Roosevelt and Churchill talked extensively about how the U.S. might enter the war in support of Britain, and that basically Roosevelt was just waiting for somebody to attack the U.S. as an excuse to enter the war. And lo and behold, the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor. Wow. Amazing, huh? Random Yoko on her stream last Saturday. Yeah, it was Saturday. It came up that the U.S., that Roosevelt and the Secretary of State Hull, I believe it was, refused to meet with Japanese ambassadors in time to prevent the war. And the aspersion being that they were trying to let Japan be provoked into the war. Whether that's true or not is irrelevant here. All right. That's why those documents have to be saved forever. This has gone back, at least as a tradition, all the way to, not even to Washington, but to Hamilton? Hancock.
Congressional Congress. No, sir.
Yeah.
Congressional Congress before all of that. A lot of those documents are archived too. I mean, we're talking all the way back to the Articles of Confederation and stuff. That's why we have those documents.
Pre-article, that would be John Hancock.
Right. I mean,
John Hancock was president. Yeah. It doesn't matter what, and as Squatch put it, Marilyn Monroe writes her personal phone number on her bra as she's rubbing it on Jackie's face. Yeah, I kind of went there, guys. Do the math, considering some of the people I hang around. Oh, excuse me. They have to take a photograph of it or something, and if they can keep the original, they do. Richard Nixon did not get in trouble for his part in Watergate. He got in trouble because he erased sections of a tape recording of his conversations with Liddy et al.
Now, hold on now. All of that, he was operating under the assumption that because he wasn't writing it down, it wouldn't be archived. It wasn't until later that he realized, wait a second, they're going to keep it all too. And then he got in trouble for eliminating evidence.
Yes. He got in trouble for destroying evidence. And whether he believed it or not, I don't care. You know what? I'm not psychic. I can't read the man's mind. I'm going to move on. I'm going to focus on what's important. You also don't leave the White House until all of those documents have been recorded. Okay, so Squatch says, handwritten note, Marilyn's phone number on her bra, right? Okay, fine. There is a record of that document. It is in the archives. Now, that's actually not the aspersion that the FBI wants us to believe. They want us to believe that these were classified documents that he took them with him. Okay. First of all, I call bullshit. Presidents don't have access to those documents without at least 5 people there. Right? The infamous national security brief that George Bush Jr. kind of blew off that said that Middle Eastern terrorists want to attack the United States. The infamous, what is it? Blinky, you've covered your ass. Your ass is covered, something like that. Yeah. That's a book. These books can be up to this thick. All right. He doesn't actually read that. Blanky, whatever Blanky's real name was, or is, excuse me, gave him the synopsis. Hey, Middle Eastern terrorists are planning to strike the United States. They're talking about hijacking planes. We think maybe they're planning on striking World Trade Center. And we have an action plan. Okay, well, just do the action plan. I don't care. Or tell me more. Or whatever. He doesn't have the documents under his control. Blanky has the documents under his control with 4 other people witnessing. All right? It's whoever owns the document. It's the individual who actually is handling it as it's handed to the president. And then there's the directors of the other agencies, and it might be more than 4, I don't know, that are sitting in on that meeting because their agency has business in this meeting as well. So you want to tell me that he took documents with him? Bullshit. Fuck you. I don't believe a word you say anymore. And to get into that, I guess in Squatch, I hope you're sitting on the deck right now. I guess it's time to defund the FBI.
I'm with
disband it entirely.
Well, right. There has to be an order of operations to this. We can't just defund the FBI because
nope, gone. You're all fired.
Okay, I know. I'm hip, but listen, that would put a whole bunch of highly trained individuals in the streets with no job. That is a direct, ingredient to revolution.
Good.
Well, no, if we're defunding the FBI and getting rid of them, and defunding the ATF and getting rid of them, and defunding the IRS and getting rid of them, we suddenly have very little debt. Suddenly we can start paying off debt. No problem.
We talk about
like
that
magic. All
right. When an agency becomes thoroughly corrupted, that it cannot be allowed to continue to exist, it goes away in 6 months. And if you don't believe me, look at the history of Deepwater Horizon and what happened there. Hey, Squatch, what do you know about Deepwater Horizon's fallout?
Are you sure you're saying the right thing?
Oh, yes, I am.
Okay, tell me. Enlighten me, because I thought Deepwater Horizon was a blown well.
Well, no, it's a lot more than just that. This Deepwater Horizon, brief history, was an offshore oil rig. They got permission to drill. Okay, fine. They were not taking care of their equipment. There was a blowout, and the oil rig burned to the water line and probably past that too. Billions of gallons of oil was strewn across basically the entire fucking eastern coast and into the Caribbean, the Gulf Coast. British Petroleum was basically ordered to pay about 2 years? I think it was 2 years worth of profits as part of the cleanup effort. And in the aftermath of all this, as they're investigating all it, how is it you were allowed to use a piece of equipment that you knew was not adequate, did not meet code anymore? Well, it turned out that British Petroleum had been hiring strippers and giving mines and mineral services, I believe it was the agency, cocaine and strippers to sign off on shit. 6 months later.
Hell yeah.
MMS is gone. They are gone. The people that worked for MMS that had nothing to do with anything no longer work for the federal government now. Some of them are, as far as I know, are still in prison. Deepwater Horizon, that was, it was after the PSU, so it must have been after 2009. Let's just round it off to 2009. That's 10, 11, 12, 13 years ago? About 13 years ago? Yeah. One of them got a 20-year sentence, so he should, capital letters, still be in prison. Now what? And we're talking about some really, fuck you, FBI. This is brazen, bald-faced lying. And be perfectly blunt, I don't give a flying fuck what the evidence you produce is at this point.
Hey.
What?
You said.
What? What'd I do?
You said the boy reel you back in when the F-bombs come out. We're reeling.
Oh no, that's not the F-bombs. Fuck the F-bombs. I'm all the way up to maybe fuck the police territory, guys. That's how bad this one by itself absolutely and unquestionably is. For those of you that remember the impeachment, remember the biggest evidence was Donnie's own Twitter feed and his tweets saying, go burn shit, go beat people up, whatever the hell it was that he supposedly said. Hey, Squatch, how did he break that?
Which one? What? Wait, what?
All these tweets that supposedly prove that Donnie advocated violence on 6th January.
I don't know of any.
Oh, yes, it was a couple hundred. His attorney.
Well, no, there's some things that he said, but if you go and look at the entire tweet thread, he's not telling people to go take over the freaking Capitol.
Well,
he's encouraging them to come watch him have his rally.
Okay, stop. Advance, I think it's 6 months. Maybe it's 3 months. During the impeachment itself. Are we still here? Oh, did they shut me down?
As far as I can tell, yes. No, you're straight. You're good.
Okay.
At least so far.
During the impeachment trial, they produced a tweet, a series of screenshots of his tweets saying, go burn things down, go kill people. I don't know. I've never actually seen them. I never looked at them. You know why I never looked at them? Because he proved they were fake. How did he prove every single one of these screenshots were fake? Squatch.
I would assume that when a tweet, as with most other messages, are created, there is a timestamp and a location lock that takes place in the coding. And if you go back and try to recreate a tweet using other tweets to make it look like a new tweet, it becomes time locked to the new time and not the previous time, and so it's a fake tweet. Does that make sense? It's very complicated, but it's actually pretty simple. It's like the timestamp at the bottom of the security footage. It's like that.
Stop. That's it's actually a lot simpler than that.
Oh, good, because that's very difficult to explain.
Oh, Rudy Giuliani's looking at these screenshots of his tweets, and he notices something up in the left corner, excuse me. The blue check mark that proves that this was absolutely his account. This is absolutely Donald Trump. Twitter wouldn't give him one. They would not give him a blue check. They presented these screenshots with blue checks. So absolutely, this must be his own words. Well, okay. He never had a blue check. So now what? That proved that It doesn't prove that every one of these that these screenshots is faked. It doesn't prove that, but it does prove that. Oh, it doesn't prove that the tweet never happened. It proves that the screenshot was fraudulent, was forged. Now, it was not the FBI that produced these, to the best of my knowledge. It was members of Congress. Okay, fine. But the same mentality that produced fake tweets, provably fake tweets, is now claiming that they found a piece of paper in a toilet that couldn't have been there. Hold on to that thought. That could not have possibly been there more than about 30 seconds. All right. Now, I know that there's some people who are stupid enough, they'll believe anything. I also know there's people who are so brazenly dishonest that if you tell them something they want to hear, it becomes absolutely the incontrovertible truth to them. And it doesn't even matter how ridiculous the claim is, the evidence is, how provably false that evidence is. And I should know because I was one of those people back when I was a gun control supporter. I knew this piece of evidence, that's not the whole story. You know what? I'm going to let it slide for now. Ozzy, he was yeeted from Twitter after the, or actually in the middle of the rally. He may have been yeeted once before in October 2020. I'm not sure one way or the other. But they shut him down in the middle of it, so he couldn't recall the crowd once things started getting out of hand. I'll let y'all in on a little secret. My theory is that he had kind of an idea that things were going to go sideways. All right? So he had the tweet to recall everybody and say, no, wait, walk away. This has become a problem. It was just sitting there waiting to send. And then they nuked his account so he couldn't recall those people. Because that's what they wanted. They wanted him to be able to blame him for everything that happened, no matter what happened, no matter who was involved. Okay. All right, I'm going to throw some cold water on Ozzy and a few of you others. IRS agents have been armed since before I was born, since before Papa Kerry was born, and I think before Grandpapa Kerry was born. It was IRS agents that took down Al Capone. All right. That's how long the IRS has been around. My grandfather served in World War II. I would have been in the 40s. So he would have been born in the 20s. Okay. So maybe not since before my grandfather was born. This is nothing new. Hiring 40,000. Squatch, was it 40,000 new IRS agents?
I think so. I think it's 43,000 or 47,000. Yeah.
You know what? Let's be kind. Let's be kind to our enemies and round it off to the 40. At basically $1 million a pop. When we have an agency that's now one agency that's proven it's corrupt to the core. It's gone. There's nothing left to salvage. If you're an IRS agent right now, resign. I don't care if you're 6 days away from retirement or 6 days into your career. Resign now because you're part of a RICO. You're part of a RICO. There it is.
I'm sorry. 87,000. I'm seeing a bunch of different numbers here. Okay. 80. We'll call it. We'll be conservative. We'll say 80,000.
You want to go with 80?
That's the general number. It ranges between 87,000 and like 700 change or 70 something thousand. Yeah, 87,000 is the general most agreed upon number.
Yeah, I want to be generous. Okay, I'm going to go with the 80 as a flat number, just 80,000.
Right.
Right. At $1 million a piece. Okay, a little bit of a flag on the play. And I got this when I went to A school. It costs $25,000 to take a private citizen out on the streets of Los Angeles, New York, Washington, D.C., wherever it is, bring them into the military, train them, send them to a vocational training school. Like I went to bosun's mate school. One of my offline advisors, he went to what the Coast Guard calls a machinery technician. He was a diesel mechanic, diesel engine mechanic, or computer school or whatever. It cost $25,000 to go from streets of Los Angeles to inability doing the job they actually paid to train you to do. That includes everything. That includes housing, food, clothing. Believe it or not, that clothing isn't free. That man hours to train you on how to be a diesel mechanic, or to be a boatswain's mate, or to be a whatever the fuck you are. That's just the Coast Guard. For some of the lower, like boatswain's mate, is relatively simple. All right, it's an 8-week school. It's not something very, very complex with a lot of legal training. And it's, no, it's not roughly a quarter. It's 1/20th the cost of creating a new IRS or FBI agent or IRS or whatever. Yeah, I'm actually not surprised. They've got to train these people. They got to feed them. They got to pay them. That is actually a requirement, even if you're in training. They got to treat their owies. If somebody stubs their toe in the middle of the night, they got to go to sick bay. I got sick while I was there. It's me being a stubborn asshole. I didn't want to go. Company commander said, either you're going or I'm having you escorted there. Oh, okay. And it turns out, yeah, I was legitimately sick. I had a fever of 103, 102, somewhere around. It was over 100 degrees. I probably should have been on the ward overnight. It happens. $1 million to go from private citizen to actual ATF agent. Oh, but by the way, there's also insurance. They got to insure this guy against something he may do in the future. Liability insurance, just like any other employer. Hey, an IRS agent willfully shot a man for no reason at all, or even if it was justified, the civil court turns around and says, yeah, well, it was a justified shooting, but it was excessive, and we're going to award the dead man's family $1 million. Right? Believe it or not, there was a liability insurance policy on me as a coastie at the buoy tender to was it a half or $250,000? Maybe it was $250,000 in case I wired up a buoy wrong. Yeah. And the policy could the civil awards could easily have gone much higher than
English. That. Slow down and say your words. English.
That's why Squatch is here, guys. In short, $1 million to get somebody from the streets of Los Angeles, New York, whatever, into an actual job doing the business of the federal government or any government, really. $1 million doesn't shock me. Well, not that much. No, Bill, I'm sorry. Your husband's mistaken. He they cut corners until something blew out, and it was an inevitability. All right. So this whole raid was basically a political drone strike.
Kerry, that's exactly why I love Ville. If you ever wonder what a good, solid conspiracy theory about any particular event, run it across her, you'll find out some good, solid conspiracy theory about whatever it was you were thinking of. She got them all, man. They're right there.
Well, unfortunately, I was seeing Deepwater Horizon from the inside. The edge of the inside. I was called back to active duty because of all of that, but I didn't get underway, which pisses me off no end. But anyway, the people behind Deepwater Horizon were how do I put this? Scum, slime, disgusting subhumans. Squatch, help me out here.
Protozoa.
Don't insult protozoa that way. Some of these people make pedophiles look like good, decent human beings.
Disagree.
No, I met some of them.
Okay, sure. And you can think they're scum of the earth as much as you like, but they're no lower than them. These two people deserve exactly the same results.
Oh, yeah. I'll talk to you about that off stream because it's not part of the official record. Ozzy, I gotta blow up your bubble here, bud. Minimum IQ level for the military is 80. No, that is the legal definition of retarded. Minimum IQ level for the U.S. military. I know it's in the triple digits, but it can't be over 120 because I've been rated out as 125. Unofficially. Paramecium.
Good one.
So it's above 80. It's well above 80. All right. So, yeah, no. Where was I going? This was the Mar-A-Lago was a political drone strike. They wanted to take out an opposition. They wanted to take him out in a way that he could never recover. This is going to go back to some bitch I know. All right, some bitch I wish I knew. Just hell, I wish she knew of me. That would be cool. But I'm moving right along. Twitch yeeted her channel as a kind of macro drone strike. They wanted to shut down anybody that questioned them in any way, shape, or form. And guess what? They succeeded. Right? And if she doesn't get some support within, by the end of the month, she's going to be homeless. So please send some bitch I know $5. The links are in the description. But what they did to Donnie was the same thing. So, Squatch, can you take a wild guess as to why I'm secretly gleeful about this?
Because you expect a major backlash from the silent majority. English, do you speak it? Because you expect a major backlash from the silent majority of the flyover states. Because that's really who this is targeting.
First of all, no, I don't speak English. Second of all, you should know that by now. Come on. Second of all, yeah, it's actually worse than that. Remember what I was saying about the impeachment and the Twitter, the tweets, forged provably forged tweets. What kind of a retard do you have to be to believe that any of the evidence coming out of the FBI as a result of the raid is real? I'd like to know. Well, he's not here. The most leftist person I think we all kind of know is Totes. He's not here today, which really, really sucks, because I bet you he could answer that question for us. I am the second most leftist person you guys know. All right. What would it take for me to believe that this stuff is real? I got to go there. You want to believe it, and you don't care. All right. This is the seriously. Trump is leaving the White House one way or another mentality. All right. And how that bitch didn't get arrested for making a threat on a sitting president is just, I don't know. But she didn't. And okay, great. Good for you, bitch. We love you, Susan. Now, here's the great news. Define great. The whole purpose of this exercise was to start a civil war. There, I went there. I said it. Fuck you and your feelings. The whole purpose of this exercise.
Backlash I was mentioning.
Oh, worse than that.
The backlash.
It's worse than that backlash. You're right, but it's worse than that. All right. There's going to be those people, and I can't remember her name now, who say Trump is leaving the office in January one way or another. Come on, guys. That's an assassination threat. I said a whole lot less than that. I ended up having to stand in front of Secret Service. I didn't stand in front of them. I called them. I called them and said, here's what's going on. Because I was accused of making a threat against Barack Obama. It's provably not a threat. It was I'll tell you guys this story some other day. It was provably not a threat. Moving right along. This lady makes an aspersion of a actual threat. Nobody ever said anything. Right? There are those sort of people, and it doesn't matter what the FBI finds at Mar-A-Lago. They're going to claim that it's real, and there's going to be people that believe it. And if they're showing us this, what do you think they're holding back on? Because it's top secret information. There's people like me that I don't give a fuck what you drug out of there. I don't give a fuck how provable it is. You've been caught lying so many times now. I can't believe anything you say. This is beyond the boy who cried wolf territory. This is all the way into, he's back there crying wolf after the after the herd is gone. You lying little son of a bitch. The herd was ripped apart last week, and you want me to believe there's a wolf in the pens now? What in the hell is your major malfunction? And please list them alphabetically. That makes it easier to look up later. All right. I'm sorry I'm not paying enough attention to the chat, guys. I am way, way behind. No, Ozzy, that's not how classification works. Not even close. In fact, if my understanding is correct, president can only classify or declassify based on the recommendation of somebody else. So, yeah. The idea is to split people against each other knowing that it's going to lead to violence one way or another, as that bitch on Twitter put it, and just wait for it to start. That's all you have to do. You built a bomb over the last 6, 7, 8 years, basically 8 years. Now you put the match to the fuse, and it's burning down. All you have to do is wait for the fuse to hit the explosives, and it'll all blow up. That's when they can declare martial law. See, I am catching some of them, guys. That's when they can start shelling U.S. cities. Oh, I guess nobody thought about that, except this guy who's been thinking about that for 20 years. Hell, who needs 9017 now? We'll have people doing it for us. We'll have the common people doing that for us. You just sit back and, our people in Grand Rapids, Michigan, or Plano, Texas, or wherever the hell it is that we've got them stationed, they can all come home, sell the business, sell the house, whatever. Come on home. We don't need you anymore. They're going to do it for us. Okay. Oh, I want to remind everybody, we don't stand on spelling around here as long as it's understood what was meant. Okay. Moving right along. Damn it. I'm out of coffee. How else do I have to put this, guys? This was intended to start a civil war, and it's probably going to work to some degree. Bare minimum, we're going to have riots in the streets at some point here very soon. I know it seems like a long way off. Winter, it will probably be relatively calm because it's cold. Nobody wants to go out. Nobody wants to go hold picket signs and say, free the president, hang the motherfucker, whatever, in the middle of a fucking snowstorm. That's not going to happen. Probably not going to happen. As it starts warming up again, they will, because summer makes people fucking crazy. All right? You don't believe me? Ask any New York or Los Angeles cop. Give me a second, guys. Okay. Bring that back up. Okay. And that leads me to get home bags. I know people are tired of hearing me talk about get home bags. And there's some people who've come out and said, they want me to go past this. Okay. My first priority is to keep you alive long enough to regret being alive in this time. No, Ozzy, I have not bothered to ask because I don't care. Doesn't matter. Literally, it doesn't even matter at this point. Moving right along. If you are aware that there's a thing coming, a protest, a rally, especially if it looks like it's going to turn a bad direction. And let me put this bluntly, if it's an Antifa rally, because those always turn a bad direction. If you can, get your kids, get your dogs, get your medications, get a couple days worth of clothes, at least get whatever you need. Go rent a U-Haul van or U-Haul truck. I don't give a fuck. Drive about an hour outside of town, check into a hotel, and just check in and stay there until you know that whatever it was is blown over. All right, that's the truth. If you can be outside of town when it happens, you're not going to get caught up in it. Worst case scenario is you have to drive an extra hour for work every day. That sucks. All right. If that situation starts here, I'm actually driving across the California-Nevada border. I even know the hotel I'm checking into. All right. Papa Carey's friends with the owners from back in the day when he was a hospital inspection, something like that. Actually, it's their kids. So I'm familiar with, I'm friends with sort of the owners. Anyway, they have a couple rooms that they set off to the side just for special guests. Now, they meant those special guests to be their family. Okay, I get that. If I get there ahead of their family, I'm sorry. I'll trade you rooms because I don't need a TV. Oh, by the way, guys, if you have to go that route, be sure to ask about off-book rooms. Every hotel has at least one or two rooms that are shut down. The TV's being replaced, or the air conditioner doesn't work, the heater doesn't work in winter. If the mattress is missing, they're not going to let you have that room anyway. Other rooms they might let you have. All right, just say, oh, and I'll consider it an off book room too. And you might just have to suffer with it being cold or hot, or no TV, no internet access. If this hotel is room-specific internet, you might have to suffer with no internet or very, very slow internet. Get out of town if you can. Drive an extra hour to work. Tell your kids' school that we're taking a family. We're taking a week as a family. And you know what? Your school will probably know exactly what's up already. Oh, you're calling us the day after it was announced that there's going to be an Antifa rally in downtown. I hate Portland, so I'll pick them. In downtown Portland. Oh, convenience. And here I am wishing I could go with you. Have everything that you would need to make it for at least a week in the van with you, including money if you have to buy shit while you're there. Your card will get you a long way. Your credit card will get you a long way. But it may not get you all the way. So $200 is a bare minimum. I don't care where you live. All right. The lake house, $200 is, at least a month's rent, at least in town. Yeah, most of a month's rent in town. That's barely enough. All right. Swiss, I saw that. Shots fired in chase following armed suspect in FBI office in Ohio. I'm not shocked. I am not shocked at all. And I'm shocked to discover gambling in this establishment. You're winning, sir. moving right along. Where was I? Get out of town. Keep in your bag or at your desk. Keep in a bag at your desk or your car the bare minimums. An overnight bag's worth of food, medicine, water, safety goggles. I have to wear safety goggles at work. About once a week on average, I leave my corrective glasses at work because I take these off. I put them in the drawer. I put the safety glasses on. And as I'm leaving, I take my safety glasses off and I forget to put these back on. I'm working on it, I swear. Fortunately, I have a spare pair in my car, so although they're not bifocal, they're strictly vision. So if I want to read something, I got to take my glasses off. Okay, so what? Safety glasses, bare minimum. Pair of clear lens safety glasses. I know you guys are going to hate this. Take a mask. Put a mask in the bag. All right. First of all, there's the Karens of the world. Second of all, if you get caught on the edge of a riot and tear gas has been deployed, that mask will buy you a couple seconds to run away. It's as simple as that. If you ever meet me in person, ask me to show you my mask. I carry it in my back pocket. Right? It will get me out of a tear gas crowd, but it will also piss a lot of people off, especially the Karens. Oh, and a pair of light work gloves. I'm not taking them out. Fuck that shit. Oh, I forgot to get the AR out. Oh, well. And have a weapon of some sort. I don't care. Some of you, it's too late to go get a gun. It's okay. You can go down to the hardware store and get, or gas station or something, get pepper spray. Right? I know my first set of brass knuckles, which is folding trench knife and not actually brass knuckles, I bought at a gas station in Salem, Oregon. What street was that on? Liberty? I think it was on Liberty Street. Worst case scenario is you order it online. Right? If you can't drive a couple hours, get across state lines to buy them, do something. Right? Knives really suck as defensive weapons in that sense. So probably best to skip even a beautiful combat knife or a proper trench knife. Probably best to just go ahead and skip that. All right. It takes a lot of something inside of you to be able to stick a piece of metal in somebody else like that. It does. And I'm not going to lie. I don't know if I got that in me or not. I've never had to try. I know fixed bayonets does. But that's because she's drilled and drilled and drilled. I'll give you all a little bit of a secret. Fixed bayonets. She calls herself that because she still practices her not baton, but bayonet drills from her time in the Corps. Yeah. Matter of fact, she's made Angel Start. Oh God, over a year ago now. Damn. Yeah. Yeah, shortly after Brent passed. Okay. If you live in a place where pepper spray is restricted, get around it as best as you can. Aussie is Canadian. Pepper spray is strictly illegal in Canada. That's the end of it. I don't even think you can have bear spray anymore. Okay. That's fine. Aussie, get your passport. Get it in order. Drive across the Canadian border and U.S. Canadian border rather on a weekend excursion to Detroit. All right, no, not Detroit. Let me try that again. Anywhere, really. You're coming down here to visit family. How about that? And then just stick it in your spare wheel well and keep your mouth shut. Without getting into the details, I am aware of somebody that took over 100 guns up into Canada about 5 years ago. 4 or 5 years ago. I know exactly where they went. I know which city they went to. I don't know who has them now. I never asked and I didn't want to know. And by the way, no, it wasn't me. I also, it's still mysteriously don't know his name. Ooh. Well, Ozzy, that's going to be a problem. That's going to be a difficulty. Find a friend. A friend who can travel across the border like that. I'm out. Woo. Okay, man shot outside Space Force base armed with gun, propane, gas, and knife. Has it really gotten to the point where you're picking on civilians? No, Ozzy, there's always hope. This guy had a propane tank. What the hell was he thinking of doing with that? Well, I think we all know what he was planning, but never mind that. An overnight pack, and know that you might be using this to fight your way out of a bad situation, right? If you know that you're going to have to fight your way out of a very bad situation anyway, like Luke, because I know he was here earlier and I haven't seen him since. Yeah, we know. Load up extras. If you can load up extras, great, good for you. That is great news for you. All right. If I can load it up, I got a little radio flyer trailer. It's filled with shit. All I have to do, drag it down, lift it up, put it in my car, close the door, we're out of there. And I still got the damn cart. So I don't have to carry all that shit. What it doesn't have is 20 gallons worth of water, which is what I know I need, and I don't have. Okay, you're still here. Good. Yeah. I'm not surprised, Swiss. But that's just where it's going, right? If this attack on a Space Force base wasn't part of what we're talking about today, well, it's going to turn into part of what we're talking about today. And you can be absolutely rest assured if this makes mainstream news, that both sides are going to blame the other, and it really, really doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter at all. All right. They're both going to say, no, it was your guy. Well, you know what? I know. I don't know. I know none of you don't know. And I don't give a fuck at this point. The rhetoric about this violence has gotten to be so histrionic. I mean, if I wanted to make millions of dollars, I'd be sitting here talking about how to start a civil war. Seriously, I've gamed this out in my head. I know how to do it. Or at least I know a good way to start. It would help if there's already a whole lot of chaos going on in the background, but there doesn't have to be. That just really helps, because now you've already got the natives restless, as Squatch put it. I think it was Squatch put it, the natives are restless. And then you light that off. And it's been building for years. Both sides have been testing this the other side's resolve. This is like before the first Civil War, second, or whatever, Civil War, when the soon-to-be Confederate States recalled their legislators in Washington to discuss matters. Testing the resolve. This is bleeding Kansas territory. We're in bleeding Kansas territory. Bernie, I don't want to talk about the House thing because I know we don't know. What was it? A couple weeks ago when I was at Papa Carey's house, I just happened to get into town when a fire broke out in Anderson. It actually crawled up inside of city limits, which is really amazing. It was a meth lab blew up. And it blew up and it crawled up into the town. It killed a bunch of tortoises at some tortoise preserve. And you know what? Dad's told me like 5 times because he wants me to make a plug for it to raise money for them. I think I did. Okay. So let's kind of put the house explosion on the back burner for a long time. No, Swiss. Oh, Bernie, was I mean to you? A Y or an N. I'll apologize if it's a Y. Okay. Get your get-home bag ready. Again, bare minimums. And a night's worth of water. You know, I talk about those bags, those red bags that you can get at Walmart and just 2 of the major hardware stores, Lowe's and Home Depot. You can order them online, a half dozen other places. Bare minimum. Go get one. It's $80. All right. I get it. It's $80. Go get one anyway. Keep the whistle, anything that makes light, the food packets. I don't know how many times I've said that it smells like peanut butter and tastes like bread, but it really is non-thirst causing, and it'll keep you going. A bare minimum. It'll keep you going for a couple days. That's all you can ask. Water bottles. Candy. All right. I know Ghost Tack keeps talking about gummy bears. I don't like gummy bears. I can't stand gummy bears. I like cinnamon bears. I'll grab a bag of cinnamon bears. It's as simple as that. You will always be better off if you can at least drop some money on the counter. But if you have to just take it and run and get home. Bare minimum, get home. Lock your doors. Barricade your doors if you have to, and start getting ready to leave town if you can. For those of you familiar with Night of the Living Dead and Dawn of the Dead and those other zombie films where they talk about the start, this is the part where the radio is talking about evacuation centers at Mansfield High School or Civil Defense Network announces closure of such and such a house, neighborhood, whatever. And everybody's just ignoring it. Well, guys, just stop fucking ignoring it. Right? Because right about now, probably a good time to start pricing out hotels outside of town. It's that simple. All right. Have I beat this horse dead enough? No. Actually, I haven't. Because I have not heard one of you say, yeah, I've got my bag ready. And it's in my truck, in my car, in my station wagon, at my desk. I've not heard a single one of you say that so far. And that's what I'm waiting for. Actually, I'm kind of waiting for everybody to say it. And then we'll all start, one by one, we'll all start picking on whoever hasn't said it yet. All right. Oh, God damn it, Squatch. I'm sorry. I didn't see you take off. Fuck you. I needed you here to get me back under control. Like just now. But anyway. All right. Going to share a different screen. Share screen. Windows. Yeah. Preamble. I really should probably rename that. All right. Let me make sure it's coming through first. Looks like it is. Okay. So you might think this is kind of irrelevant, but it's not. The Daetslov Act, Second Amendment Revision, National Mandatory Carry Act, effective a date. Right? It'll become effective when it's passed. The Second Amendment of the Constitution of the United States of America is hereby repealed and replaced as follows. A well-protected public, being necessary to the security of a free state, the duty of the people to keep and bear arms shall be enforced strictly as provided for in this amendment. All right. Guys, that line, a well-protected public, being necessary to the security of a free state, the duty of the people to keep and bear arms shall be enforced, was the absolute start of what is now Daetslov. This was back in 2014. I went to some Facebook page and asked them to make the case for Barack's gun control, and all they did was accuse me of NRA boilerplate horse shit. Well, okay. Let me tell you guys, that's not a good way to make friends and influence people. That's probably the worst way. By the way, I'm not a member of the NRA. Never have been. And people who've been following the channel for a while know I'm not a fan of any of the organizations anymore. It finally got to a point where I was fed up. I knew I was being lied to. All right. I knew I was being lied to. And that was what was pissing me off so much. So as after like 2 months of this shit, I you know what? You're right. Had the founders predicted the future, they would have written a very different Second Amendment. The duty to keep and bear shall be enforced. That was 2014. So newsflash, that was 12 years ago. So no, 8 years ago. 8 years ago. I can't math very well. It was only up to enforced at the time. As time has gone on, I've been working on it. The original Daetslov Act was nothing more than the Kennesaw, Georgia city ordinance, just rewritten as a national thing. And I've been realizing, hey, you know what? I need to make this revision. And at one point I realized this isn't working at all anymore. It's gotten to be too complicated. Started all over again. I still got that document in my old computer somewhere. I just don't know where. Well, maybe I did throw it out since then. Either way, all of this has built on that one flippant remark from 2014. Right. Title 1 to provide excuse me. Title 1 to provide for the enforcement of the duty to keep and bear arms. The phrase, the duty to keep and bear arms, shall mean all arms in general, and firearms in particular, with special attention for handguns and pistols in immediate possession, long arms and shotguns in vehicles and homes. The phrase, Mandatory Carry Act, used in this act shall mean the provisions of this act requiring the bearing of arms. So it's not limited to firearms. It covers everything that is not specifically said otherwise as we scroll down in the document. All right. Actually, I really thought this was going to take longer because of my rants. Okay, we're caught up. We're actually caught up. Holy shit. I don't know how that happened. This Swiss Miss, there isn't going to be a evening stream. It's every other week. Sorry. And yes, I would put my wife ahead of my cause. So Squatch had better go deal with wife Squatch. I would actually have kicked him out of here if I'd known. Okay, Luke wants to know, can you do a separate video about go bags that can be bought online from OK to the Best? I don't have that kind of money. We're talking about tens of thousands of dollars to order them and test them and evaluate them. And I wish I could. Bernie says that his fingers and toes add up to 13. He might not be joking, guys. Yeah, we know Ozzy. Fuck you, Justina. What I want to say right here is vulgar and awful and nasty. It involves the crudest possible way of saying find a permanent solution to your temporary problems. And I know Luke has seen me say it once. Say it again to the same person, because I really, really hate that guy who just threatened my kids. So, of course, I don't like him. Okay, Luke said, you don't need to buy them, just see what's out there. Well, Luke, I can shortcut you there. The red bags. The red bags is the most common thing. You'll find them fucking everywhere. All right. So just take one of those, rebuild it around more towards your needs. Yes, we love you, Susan. My second red bag had 4 sets of goggles in it. It's a big safety chemical work goggles, and a pack of playing cards. Okay, what the hell are you going to do with those? First of all, those are huge. They take up between them like enough room for a water bottle. That's room and weight. It could have been wasted on more water. I'm just saying, that is what it is. So my best advice to you would be go get a red bag, strip it, keep what you need, throw the rest away. Oh, the red bags also come with water. Dump the water. Use it for your morning coffee or something. I still got, actually, I'm not going to blow this up. This is a packet of water that came with the big bag. What is it? 4-man 1 day or 1 man 4 days, something like that. It must have been 4-man one day pack. I dumped them all. I kept one for exemplar purposes. That's it. The rest of them are gone. Have been for over a year now. I dumped them into my coffee. It's easier to just carry the water bottle and refill it even once a day if I have to. Okay, Bernie wants me to research something that's watertight if possible. Unless you intend to use it as a PFD, it's not that critical. And to be perfectly blunt, it'll never make a good PFD. Right? If you can find something with a flap on it, like this red bag, I ordered this from an outfit in Sweden. I don't know if they want to be associated with me or not. I guess I could put a flap on it, make it a little bit watertighter, but guys, it's not that. It's not that critical. Okay, Bernie is talking about an ammo can in his car. And hey, I mean, if that's what you stored in, that's what you stored in, guys. Don't worry about it. Ghost Tack the other day was talking about having this kind of stuff in a shoebox, ready to go. Because common shoebox. Of course, a common shoebox in your car may not last very long. And I'm under the impression he meant for home, or at your desk at work or something like that. Get it together, and be ready to run out the door. Everyday carry is another thing entirely. My everyday carry, I do not leave home without these items. In order of importance: multi-tool, gun, spare clip, folding trench knife. Same one I got at that store in Oregon. Mask. I can carry the mask in my back pocket. They all fit very neatly on me. I would leave the red bag in my car at work, or I could leave it at my station, but by goddamn, that gun with multi-tool, the rest of it, that's still on me as I walk around at work. I go take a shit sometimes, and I have a problem because my holster wants to pull my belt out of my pants. Because, part of how it stays on is it's through your belt, right? Oh. Have it ready. I have my own ideas of what to carry, but you know what? At the end of the day, I don't give so many fucks about that. Have something. Ozzy is Canadian. He can't have a gun. I would say pepper spray, except pepper spray is illegal in Canada as well. I don't care if it's too much information, ladies and gentlemen. I got to tell you the truth. That's exactly the problem. You've been getting lied to for so long that you've been gaslit into believing anything. Fortunately, the sort of people who are here probably have finally said, no, fuck you on your gas. I'm done. I'd rather hide in the darkness than deal with you playing with the lamp settings. Okay. Get your get home bag ready. Get your everyday carry ready. Your get home bag and your bug out bag are not the same thing. Your bug out kit is much more complex, much heavier, much larger, and probably, let me be very honest here, guys. It's going to have to be a vehicle kit. There's just too much shit to carry for it to be in a bag. Now, most of it can be in a bag, and you toss that in the back of your car. All right? And in theory, you could still get out of the car and walk, except the longer you have to walk to bug out, the longer you need water for. That's the longer you have to walk to bug out, the more water you would have to carry. So get as far in that car as you can. Try to fill your water can before you leave. And the best way to handle it is to have a cart, even if it's a shitty ass Red Ryder cart. By the way, a rebuilt Red Ryder cart, which really, really sucked. It's just beautiful Red Ryder cart. Just abused and neglected for 10, 15, whatever it was, years. And it's plastic at that, so I had to basically rebuild everything. You know what? Do what you got to do. The big thing about that is having that the 5 water gallon for that one, and the 20 is for the other one I'm building. Keep it straight, stupid, right? The one I'm building is a old gurney that I'm trying to rebuild. It's not as easy as it sounds. Yeah, Ozzy, I know. You're just going to have to dig into that I don't give a fuck part of you. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that say that Canadians can't fight or are too polite to fight, I've got a former shipmate who found out the hard way. Yeah, actually, they can. They will. And if you make a Canadian snap, you actually fucked up. You were wrong, and it doesn't matter. I don't know what happened. I don't exactly know what happened, but yeah. He found out the hard way. Canadians are not as polite as all that. All right. They will not tolerate you being stupid. All right. I'm going to wrap it up here, guys, because this is actually a little bit further than I thought this would go. There is no evening stream. If I see some questions in the post-stream comments, I will try to do a video on that this evening and upload it. This drone strike on Donnie is going to blow up in their face 100 times worse than they could ever have imagined. And they had to do it because they had to take out Orange Man. And now they have... Oh, this is the thing I wanted to address there. The raid happened. Period. There is no way they can come back empty-handed without losing so much face with the public. And it doesn't matter. They've already come out with the evidence. There's no way that they can come back empty-handed. So they have to produce something. And they just made shit up. I mean, even a fucking moron can say, wait a second, what? You found a piece of paper in the in the toilet. You were able to unfold it enough to read it? Some people have speculated that the paper shows evidence of having been altered. I mean, they could be right. I'm not convinced enough of that. Being in the toilet, having gotten wet, it's conceivably plausible that it was altered by getting wet. Here's the problem. I don't believe it's real to begin with. Doesn't matter. I don't care if you photoshopped it. There's no way it can be real because you can't put paper in water for more than a few seconds without ruining the paper, making it impossible to work with. Fuck. What was it? What were you thinking? Really, what were you thinking? And apparently some people have actually fallen for that by now. I will talk about them separately. Get your get-home bag ready. Get your everyday carry. Very, very ready. God help us all, because it's... Don't forget to flush. Because it's about to hit the fan. Okay. Keep calm and mandatory carry on.